Imagine staring into the eyes of your newborn child and realizing a terrifying truth. You have absolutely no proof they belong to you. For 300,000 years, this was your reality. It was the terrifying baseline for every man on Earth. Because until roughly 40 years ago, fatherhood was a complete biological hallucination. You assume ancient families look just like yours, a mother, a father, and their children. But biology contains a brutal asymmetry. If you are a mother, you possess absolute certainty. You carry the child. You give birth. The connection is physical and undeniable. But if you are a man, you never actually know. You are always making a blind, desperate guess. Some animals never have to worry about this. A male penguin incubates the egg on his own feet. He knows exactly what is his. But you are a mammal. Your offspring develop hidden inside the female body. Your biological contribution is entirely invisible. So how did you and your ancestors build entire tribes? How did you pass down tools and territories without ever knowing who was actually related to who? The truth is, early humans didn't think about it like you do. Imagine you are a nomadic hunter-gatherer. You don't understand cells or fertilization. You might even believe pregnancy is caused by ancestral spirits. So you rely entirely on social fatherhood. Whoever is sleeping in your tent when the baby arrives is declared the father. It is a massive collective illusion, and your entire village helps you enforce it. Think about what your friends say when your baby is born. They immediately look at you and say, "He has your nose," even when the baby looks like a wrinkled potato. This isn't just polite small talk. It is an ancient psychological trick. We are hardwired to reassure you. Because if you doubt your connection to the child, you might abandon them to starve. You constantly look at the baby's face. You check if they have your ears. You check if they have your jawline. This is an ancient unconscious audit. You are desperately searching for proof. But newborn faces are naturally ambiguous. Evolution might have actually designed them that way, to keep you guessing and keep you providing. If you lived in the Amazon, you might find a stranger solution. You would invent the concept of shared paternity. You would believe a child is built from multiple different men. So your wife would officially name 3 or 4 co-fathers. And remarkably, this biological lie actually works. Your children survive longer in this system because they have 4 different men bringing them food, because they have a larger safety net. If one father is killed in a hunt, the other 3 step up immediately. Ignorance isn't a problem for you here. Ignorance keeps your community alive. But then, your history took a very dark turn. You discovered farming. Suddenly you own land. You own herds of animals. You accumulate wealth. And when you die, your property has to go to your heir. Almost overnight, the harmless illusion of fatherhood becomes a civilization-ending crisis for you. If you leave your farm to a child that isn't biologically yours, you are giving your life's work to an enemy's bloodline. The stakes are suddenly life and death. So you and other men build an oppressive system. You want to guarantee your genetics, but you cannot test the baby's blood. So you violently lock down the mothers instead. This paranoia is the origin of almost every harsh ancient law. Think about the Code of Hammurabi, written almost 4,000 years ago. It obsessively legislated female behavior to guarantee male inheritance. If you lived in ancient Babylon, you would make infidelity a capital crime. If you lived in ancient Rome, you invent the concept of an illegitimate child. You strip them of property and citizenship because they threaten your entire economic system. You structure entire religions around female purity. You declare infidelity a sin against the gods because divine punishment is the only way to keep everyone in line. The veil, the dowry, the strict seclusion, none of it is an accident. It is your desperate, brutal verification system. Because as a king, you are terrified. You cannot leave the throne to a stranger. You start wars and burn dynasties to the ground over a question that literally no one on earth can answer. For thousands of years, this is your status quo. A world built entirely on your forced trust and intense paranoia. And then, in the year 1984, the illusion shatters completely. Scientists invent the first DNA fingerprinting test. For the first time in human history, you can swab your cheek. You can swab your child's cheek. And you can know the absolute, undeniable biological truth. The results shock the modern world. When researchers start looking closely at anonymous populations, they find that your intuition is deeply flawed, depending on the era and the culture you live in. Some historical populations had massive secret discrepancies, entire generations built on a quiet biological fiction, a fiction that protected the family unit. Up to 1 in 30 men are raising a child that belongs to someone else entirely. Millions of your family names, passed down for centuries, are built on completely fractured biological lines. It proves that you are a species that runs on belief. But before you let this twist your worldview into something dark, think about what this actually means for you as a father. For hundreds of thousands of years, you gathered food. You fought off predators and endured freezing winters, all to protect children you could never truly verify were yours. You did it anyway, because your family is not just a biological contract. It is a choice you make every single day. You are not defined purely by your genetics. You are defined by who you choose to love, even when you are completely in the dark. Sleep well tonight. If you want to survive the true history of humanity, hit that subscribe button, because the truth is always stranger than fiction. See you in the next one.